Hey viewers, if you want your stories, experiences of infidelity, breakup, cheating, to be narrated and get featured to others in our Mr. Cool's Planet community, feel free to submit your stories to the mail given in description. Either way, please don't forget to subscribe if you like the channel. Let's go.
Hello, thank you for joining me today as we explore the ups and downs of love, heartbreak, and everything in between. I'm excited to share these stories with you. Let's go. Dash 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 dash. Story 1. How I found out my ex-GF was cheating on me. In 2017, I've met my ex-girlfriend while I was in a park with some friends and she was also with us. She was, at the time, solid 8/10, friendly, always smiling, and nobody would even guess she will change her behavior so fast after I started dating with her. Let's call her Mrs. V. I was 19 years old and she was 18 years old. To give some of a backstory, I was with her for 3.5 years and most of the time, it was okay, but back to the story. It was December 2018, she told me, she is not feeling good in relationship and she wants a pause. I was thinking, why does she needs a pause after we had pretty good relationship? We drove to a lot of places around our country, spent quite a lot time together. I was even willing to help her mother with some problems back then and had a really good relationship with her mom and younger sister she had. I'm going to get a lot of hate after this part, but it is important part of the story. In January 2019, not even 2 weeks after she wanted to spend more time with family and blah blah, I found out she was seeing other guy. I was, in that time, not so wealthy and also I had 80 kilograms or so. That guy was wealthier and also looked like an athletic and gym person. Later that week I found this news. Friend told me it was intentionally done by her friend. She brainwashed Mrs. V. That I was an idiot, loser and complete mess. Not to mention I was earning a good buck, not 6 figures but enough for being stress-free. When I confronted her about that, she gave me pretty much obvious and old, but we had a pause and we were separated and blah blah. You get it. She told me, she wasn't sleeping with him or she didn't do anything intimate, what also many people told me. So I forgave basically complete part of this time and moved on. Months went by and she changed her behavior towards me rapidly and it got worse month by month. I also got some loans for sh*t I was giving her, like mobile phone, laptop, used car, complete repair for that car, etc. I don't know why I did that, but guess it was blind love. In 2020, things got really serious and, to be honest, pretty bad. In May 2020 we agreed to go to vacation. So I've paid basically whole vacation and she insisted that her mom and sister will go with us. I had no real problem because I had a good relationship with them. After THST vacation, she was starting to distancing from me, from my family and from our time together. In November 2020, I got a text from her. Literal gibberish like, Hazenkmykide shiz bibi, and so on. After some time she told me she is completely wasted at some friend's house and she needs to go home ASAP. So I've got my car, drove to the place she described, but halfway I got a call from her phone. I've picked it up and I was talking with her friend. She told me, don't go here because there is some man who wants to beat the crap out of you. Didn't understood why, but she also told me, Mrs. V. was talking about how abusive I was 30 minutes earlier and I forced her to go home. None of that was true. I've arrived to that place and instead of getting me smashed over the floor, I was welcomed by the same guy who wanted to sweep the floor with me. I've picked her up and when I was arriving to her flat, she told me in alcoholic gibberish that, I've wished I was single to fuck guys and have fun with girls. I've asked, what? And got only, nothing, I am drunk. I've told her what happened day after and she bursted into tears. She said she loves me, she didn't want to be like that, etc. Really cheap excuses. Lately in December she started partying heavily. My friends told me that she was seeing with Mr. D. So they invited me to one party she was in also with Mr. D. Nothing was really sus, she had a good time with friends and he was there, too. But nothing happened. That night I snapped into investigate mode because something was telling me, something is off. We had our locations connected so I pretty much knew where she was. For the whole 3 years, she didn't turn her position off, but that night she did. 2 days after she called me she goes to her mom's new place and we will not be seeing each other for 2 days. Here comes the fun and most effed up thing. Later that day my friend called me, he saw her car standing on the street in the town and he wanted to say hello, because I was sitting in the passenger seat. I was ill and lying in my bed whole day. Also, that town wasn't nowhere near her mom's place. I've tried to call her but her phone was dead. Or as she told me so. Then my instincts kicked in, full time. I did some really good research where Mr. D. lives, asked her mom how often she is with her and also asked her about that night she was supposed to be with her. As I say, puzzle was assembled pretty fast but I had no concrete evidence she was cheating. We have a hill above my old place where we were frequently driving to stare at the city. It was January 2021 and I had no sleep, so I've looked at the location map. She did not turn her phone off so I had a solid evidence, she was on the same hill above my old place. I've woke up my neighbor and told him to get in the effing car, she will not recognize your car, and we drive there ASAP. I've explained to him while we were driving there and I've saw her giving Mr. D. a BJ in the same car I've paid for with pretty high loan. Then, when she noticed someone was passing them, she turned her phone off for a while and then on. She called me that she thinks I was on the hill. I told her, sure I was. And guess what I saw? I've told her that if she doesn't want me to tell everyone that she is a effing cheater, she be better showing at my old place ASAP. What broke me completely was, she arrived 10 minutes after I confronted her about that with Mr. D. inside of the car. He didn't know she had a boyfriend and also she told him that she bought her car by herself and she broke up with me because I wasn't providing her anything. What a piece of she, I told to myself. I was seriously angry. She told me, it is not how it looks like, but as you can imagine, I wasn't buying it at all. In the end, she told me she fucked around 20 men through whole relationship. Also one on that vacation I paid while I was asleep. Her excuse was, you were sleeping and not paying attention to me so I went into the city and fucked the first guy the first met. From being a victim to being a strict B in 10 minutes. Not to mention she was mentally and verbally abusing me whole time we were together. Made scenes, told her friends I was whacking her, etc. Not really visible, but she was doing lot of crazy sh*t around our friends and also in private. After this, I was diagnosed with depression and also got tested for STD, luckily I had only severe depression. Now, I have new girlfriend, we are living in Austria and I've started a new life, unfortunately with crippling debt and severe mental issues. The point is, never ever underestimate your guts and bad feeling. Also, I will never ever trust any woman again. I have a great relationship now but I have huge trust issues that never fade away. Story 2. My girlfriend's emotional affair. I am 29, live with my fiancé, F29, for 3 years already. I was suffering from porn addiction and pied, and our sex life was pretty bad. We spoke a couple of times about it, and I really felt sorry for not being able to provide her with a good sex life. She was trying her best, but I was disappointed all the time for losing my erection and started to avoid sex. Besides that, we were a perfect couple. We loved and cared about each other. I thought I found my soulmate and we were planning a wedding this year. 3 months ago, she admitted that she was chatting with a colleague, they met and they kissed after some drinks. I was in shock. I haven't cried, yelled, or said any word. I was just sitting in shock with my hands on my head. I really hate cheating and one of the main reasons why I started dating her was that I was 100% sure she would never do something like that. I spent the next day at my friend's place drinking like a fish but decided to come back and set rules to forgive her. It was just a kiss after a couple of drinks, it could happen to anyone, and she admitted her mistake. I thought. The day after I got sober, I came back home to speak with her and to get all the details. She was ready to listen to me and answer everything I asked. But when I asked to see her work PC, she was frightened and told me that the things I'll see there will make me leave her. Eventually, she gave me access, and then another worse shock came. She was having an emotional affair with that guy for a couple of months. There were some voids and they haven't spoken in months, but still, it was enough, like a month of disgusting material that I wanted to puke. Even after that kiss, which she said she didn't enjoy and regretted instantly, she told him that she was so happy they met that day and were chatting for the next 3 days until her guilt kicked in. I was so devastated, I yelled and cried for the first time in 10 years. How can such a beautiful creature write some married dude such disgusting things while I sit in another room? That night I got my first panic attack. My mind just couldn't process what is going on. I was a caring boyfriend, how did I deserve this? How did she allow this to happen? I haven't slept or eaten well for a whole week. She was genuinely remorseful and sorry, but it didn't make me feel better. The only reason why I haven't moved out is that she came and told me what happened. Yes, she tried to minimize it first, but still admitted everything. Her story is that he liked her and she liked that guy and was happy to get compliments and feel desirable. When he started sending her messages which were more than just a flirt, she admitted to him that she feels some passion toward him, but that she loves me and that she doesn't want anyone else besides me. But eventually, she started responding the same way as he, with all the passion and excitement like they were real lovers. It was just a fun game for her from time to time, because she didn't want anything besides that attention. But her real fall started when he wasn't sending her texts anymore and she felt used. So she called him to meet to end all of that. And as soon as he started giving her attention, she was happy. She relaxed, had 2 glasses of wine, and at one point, that guy kissed her and she accepted it. She then told him that things like that should never happen again and went home. But tomorrow, the guy texts her again, and they started another passionate conversation for 3 days until she got bored and started feeling guilty. That kiss was too much for her, but also gave her the sexual attention that she so desperately needed. She was going to therapy for a year while that was happening and was speaking with her therapist and wanted to tell me twice that she started feeling attraction towards another man. I went through her therapy notes but the therapist was against it, saying it is childish and selfish to say something like that to partner. And after that kiss happened, she realized that she crossed the border and told me. I was thinking for a month about what to do. Should I forgive her? Could I live with that feeling for the rest of my life? But decided to give it a try. During this period she did everything that she needs to do. She blocked him everywhere, she doesn't go to the office anymore, answered all my questions multiple times. We started counseling. But I still feel like trash. She is giving me all the love and attention, but I'm still having intrusive thoughts, triggers, anxiety attacks, keep asking questions to her and to myself. I think about what happened every day for hours. I do love her, but I'm still disappointed and sometimes when things look normal, I get triggered with thoughts that, it is not normal. There was someone else besides you. I'm seeing a therapist once a week and struggling with obsessive thoughts every day. Sometimes it just feels that I'm going in circles and that is driving me crazy. I wish I could forget everything. I truly wish to forgive her and move on to where we were before all of that. But it is so hard. I had some pretty bad traumas in the past, far worse than this, but this one hurts me more than anything. I don't know how long is this pain going to take and what should I do to make it go away. My therapist told me that I shouldn't ask so many questions anymore, don't touch the wound, let it heal, and should focus on the future, while our therapist thinks that we should discuss what happened. It is a confusing, painful, and long way, but I know she is a good person and is still worth and she is really trying her best to prove that. Does anyone have a similar story? Can you please share how did you deal with the pain and when it was gone? Thanks for listening to today's story. If you resonated with anything you heard, please leave a comment and let us know. Your support means the world to us.